Alan Trammell of the Detroit Tigers, who was named World Series MVP in 1984, was elected to baseball's Hall of Fame by the Modern Era Committee. Rusty Kennedy, Associated Press. Lake Buena Vista, FLA. Former Detroit Tigers teammates Jack Morris and Alan Trammell were elected to baseball's Hall of Fame on Sunday, completing the journey from Motown to Cooperstown. Morris, a big-game pitcher, and Trammell, a star shortstop, were picked by a 16-member Modern Baseball-era committee that considered 10 candidates whose biggest contributions came from 1970 to 1987. Morris received 14 votes and Trammell drew 13, one more than the minimum needed. The two will be enshrined on July 29. Fitting that they will go in together. They both began their big league careers in 1977 with Detroit, and played 13 seasons alongside each other with the Tigers. Time has made this even more special, the 62-year-old Morris said on a conference call. I've learned a lot along the way. Former catcher Ted Simmons fell 1 vote short of election, and former Players Union head Marvin Miller was 5 shy of the 12 needed for election. A durable right-hander, Morris posted 254 wins. His most famous victory was a 10-inning shutout, winning 10 for Minnesota over Atlanta in Game 7 of the 1991 World Series. No question it was my defining moment in baseball, Morris said. I've never pitched a game where I had better focus. I never had a negative thought, even though I was in trouble several times. Morris had a 3.90 earned run average, the highest of any pitcher in the Hall. He also won World Series titles in Detroit, with Trammell, in 1984, and Toronto in 1992, now 59. Trammell was a steady presence in the middle of the diamond while playing all 20 of his seasons in Detroit. Trammell was the 1984 World Series MVP, hitting .450 as the Tigers trounced San Diego in 5 games and finished off a season in which they started out 355. A 6-time All-Star and 4-time Gold Glover, Trammell scored 1,231 runs and drove in 1,003. He batted .285 with 185 home runs and a .352 on-base average. He walked 850 times and struck out 874. Trammell never came close to election during his 15 tries on the Hall ballot and voting by Baseball Writers Association of America members. His best showing came in his last year, when he got 40.9%. In 2016, Morris got a lot closer. Starting at 22% in his first Hall ballot appearance in 2000, Morris peaked at 67.7% in 2003, falling 42 short. He dropped to 61.5% 4 years ago in his final time on the writers' ballot, 78 votes shy. Hall of Fame players George Brett, Rod Carew, Dennis Eckersley, Don Sutton, Dave Winfield and Robin Yount were on the panel that voted. Steve Garvey, Tommy John, Don Mattingly, Dale Murphy, Dave Parker and Luis Tiant were also on the ballot. Miller, who headed the Players Union from 1966 to 1982, was on the ballot for the 7th time. Miller drew 44% in 2003 and 63% in 2007 when all Hall of Famers could vote on the Veterans panel. After the Hall downsized the committee, he got 3 of 12 votes in 2007, 7 of 12 in 2009 and 11 of 16 in 2010, one fewer than the necessary 75%. 4 years ago, he was at least 6 votes shy. In 2008, 4 years before he died, Miller sent a letter to the BBWAA saying he did not want to be considered anymore. The BBWAA annual vote on players will be announced January 24. Chipper Jones, Jim Thome and Omar Vizquel are among 19 first-time candidates, and Trevor Hoffman, Vladimir Guerrero, Edgar Martinez, Roger Clemens or Barry Bonds among the holdovers. A version of this article appears in print on December 11, 2017, on page D8 of the New York edition with the headline Trammell and Morris are elected to the Hall.